At this point, Maddie's the only one who's actually physically been on the property. I'm really worried, like, what if it's not cool? I put all my money into this sight unseen. My stuff is here. I live here now. Never in my life would I have ever thought I would move clear across country, let alone to the southeast. So this is a whole new adventure that I never saw coming. I'm so grateful to David. He was willing to drive that big truck because I don't know if I could have done it.
That was a very, very long, very cold drive. How many times have you done that drive?
I think this is my fourth drive.
Fourth drive?
Fourth. I've sold everything, terminated leases, and I've put all my stuff in a truck and I've moved.
Let's go see those babies.
Right now, I still have Savannah and Gabriel living in town and the property on Coyote Pass, and that's the only thing that ties me to Flagstaff anymore.
Hi, baby.
Hi, y'all.
Hi.
Welcome back. Welcome back,
Yes.
Mom.
At this point, I am perfectly capable of moving forward in my life. I am really just ready to be resolved and have this property sold. I don't want to have to think about Cody anymore. I don't want to have to talk to him, interact with him, nothing. And as long as that property remains a source of contention, I can't fully move on. So at this point, Maddie's the only one who's actually physically been on the property. We had to act really quick because pieces like this don't come available very often, and especially at the price that we got it. And we're just like, yeah, we trust your judgment, let's execute.
Beautiful, by the way. This is absolutely...
There's nothing. There's no electricity, there's no sewer, there's no water. There's not even a well. It's just trees and dirt.
It's choking me. No, I don't want it on my head. Hi.
Hey.
I'm Christine.
Elise, nice
Hi,
to
Elise.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. My
I'm
husband, David.
Nice to meet you.
When Maddie and Caleb bought their house, they met a real estate agent, and they have loved working with her. And so we had her help us with this deal.
I took a picture of the property layout.
You know, this whole piece is over 150 acres. This is a lot of land.
I would never, ever buy land like Janelle is. That's not my dream. I want a big living space in a finished home. No, that would not be. I never really wanted that country lifestyle.
No, I'm not ever going to buy raw land. I see myself fulfilling my dreams of travel with a husband who is totally supportive of what I'm doing and totally my cheerleader. That's what I see.
This is exciting. Are you losing your mind? Oh my gosh.
I'm going trucking right now.
Okay.
Give me a hug.
He wants to go look around. I think 165 acres is a lot. I think we'll leave a lot of it kind of just rugged. And it leaves a lot of room for growth, but it's a lot. It's very daunting. So we are taking it chunks at a time. So we'll probably do 10-acre chunks at a time.
If I think about it, it's kind of scary because, like, I've really put all my proverbial eggs in one basket. Like, this has to work. But financially, everything is riding on this farm working out. So.
What are those?
The bones.
You found the bones here?
Yeah.
Very cool, bud.
So one thing about this property is there's actually quite a lot of wildlife on it. There's still so much raw land, right? And that's where the animals are. And we have bear here, black bear. I'm more worried about the snakes because there's a lot of poisonous snakes.
What kind of farm was it before a timber farm? Do you know, Elise?
I don't. I could find out.
It's been a timber farm, obviously, for
a
4 or
long
5
time.
decades at
Yeah.
least.
I anticipate that the first 5 years are going to be hella hard work, like a lot of work. We got to put in the infrastructure. We got to clear the trees. We got to get our own garden, our own livestock, everything going. Plus, we got to get all the business stuff going. It's going to be so much work, but it's going to be so worth it.
Dude, me and a chainsaw, I could do a lot of damage.
Might take a while.
I mean, I found a lot of happiness in being with David, and I found him through a dating site. So I'm thinking Farmers Only would be the perfect one for Janelle. Perfect.
What is this tree, Maddie, with these
A pine.
It's some type of pine.
crazy
It looks like it
stickery
might be
things?
dead.
I've seen commercials, and it's people that
There's
have
these
land.
guys, they're big hunk dudes with the cowboy hat on, plowing the fields,
Oh, God.
treating their ladies right.
Maybe she'll like a landscaper. I'm just saying.
A landscaper.
I could come up. Well, I don't know. I could come up with a lot of ideas.
Congratulations.
I'm so excited.
This is working amazing.
excited?
I'm so excited. When we actually close that thing, when we actually close it, we'll be like, wow.
Let us know when you close it. We expect a video call when you close it, and we'll do a toast with you.
Yeah.
This is right for them.
All right, let's go.
She deserves to have her dreams come true. But not even that. She deserves to be able to make her dreams come true. That's what it is. You got to make them come true. And she is.
Isn't this amazing? It's more than I ever could have hoped for, seriously.
It's so interesting to be on this piece of land and know that this is it for me. This is where I'm going to be. I'm going to live here. This is going to be my last place I live. This is my home place. But it's going to be so much work, but it's going to be so worth it. I know what it looks like. I see this vision. I know what the farm looks like, and I see it. It's just going to be a lot of work to get it there. Recently, Mary and I have had some discussions about the property, Coyote Pass, in Flagstaff. I told her that I had a lawyer just because nothing's really happening. Cody definitely holds the upper hand. Like, nothing can happen unless Cody wants to take action because his name is on all of the properties. I just worry that I'm going to be tied to this property forever. I'd like to get my money out of it. I would have sold it by now. But I have to wait. I'm waiting on him to decide he wants to get something moving.
I've been talking to Janelle a little bit about the property. So we're both in Flagstaff, so we decided to meet up. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. This is the best time of year to come out here, I think.
Yeah,
It's just so beautiful. It really is.
it really is. When I see this property, it's actually sad to me because I think we all had some big hopes and dreams.
Just because the UV index just rips your skin off here. I mean, it seems so cool and nice till in 10 minutes you're sunburned.
Oh, yeah, we'll
Do you
be
want to
fried
go
to
up
crisp.
into
Yeah.
the shade? Just so.
I do not want this property. I am very confident that Janelle feels the same way. I don't know what Cody's end game is here. Is he trying to play a game with us so we just get so tired of it that we're like, we just dump it? It's like, fine, you have it.
I mean, as far as lots, like, so Cody and Robin are on the lot that goes, like 20 or 30 yards into the trees. You and I and Cody are on this 4-acre piece.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
My name's only on one piece. Is your name on 2 pieces?
Yeah, he could sell the 2-acre piece he and Robin on and the 5 acres. But he couldn't sell the 4-acre or the 2-acre he's on with me without my permission.
Yeah, and I'm on one of them with you.
This 4-acre
So-
piece, yeah. I would really like to make sure that this is done fair because you definitely are in the worst position as far as if he forces the sale of it. Because we're all 3 on the 4-acre piece, and that's all you're on. So when we bought the properties, Cody went in and sort of just put everybody's name on title, what seemed like arbitrarily. I hired a lawyer because Cody was ignoring me, and I wanted to explore options for bringing a little bit of pressure for him to perform the simple, most basic human decent thing, which is put our names on all the titles. Part of me just wants to walk away because it's just so irritating.
Yeah.
But I have to stick it out
I'm not
and see
walking
it.
away from this.
So,
No, I'm gonna fight for some of this.
all right, well,
And-
good. I feel so bad, Mary. I feel like you were especially taken for a ride. You know what I mean? For sure.
I need to get my name on whatever pieces of property is fair, and then we need to sell it. I have an attorney. I just don't want to have to use them.
There's all these things I'm like, wow, I should have been smarter about
Well,
that.
you don't think?
Or when we all signed the papers, like when he assigned who was on each piece, I should have been a little speaking
I
up for
question him.
myself.
I question him on that, and I got in trouble for questioning.
Yeah, like
There was a couple of people in the family that were not happy with me for questioning. Like, why is it this?
So this is so interesting
way?
because when you would say something, he would do this thing like, well, you're not being a team player. Like he'd make you feel bad for bringing up a question. Do you know what I mean? And then he'd get other people on board. But, to keep the peace, I sort of just was like, whatever. Because I said when I gave him the money for the house, I said, why don't you put our names on that title? Well, Robin needs her estate. I'm so dumb. We trusted.
We could say that we were naive or that we trusted, but it's because we all worked together and we did it for the
Always.
family, and
Always.
that was the
Always,
plan.
for like 25 years, whoever was able to take the credit, took the credit. I had to pay off a lot of debt that I used to support the family.
Yeah.
And when the years were really, really tight in Lehigh. We set it
We were
up.
team players.
We set it up in the very beginning. From the very first day, it felt like we just were putting our money in and we were all contributing.
But we always knew that we had each other's backs, too.
Yeah.
I was willing to do it then. And now, honestly, Janelle, I wonder, because some of the things that he's saying,
No, I know.
that
I'm
he
like,
never loved us and he never wanted
I
to marry
think
us and
that-
he felt
no.
forced to marry us. It's
No.
like, okay,
No.
all right.
Do you believe it? I don't.
No, I don't believe it.
Nah.
But he's always been so wishy-washy back and forth.
I think it's just like his ego can't handle the fact that he's failed miserably at this or he's found the love of his life. Look, it happens. I've had so many
great.
friends.
It's great. I'm glad that he has.
Cody has said, well, all of a sudden I met Robin and she's this diesel jeans model and she's everything I want. And I'm thinking, that's rich, dude. We went through all the starving years when I was holding my bra together with diaper pins and we were broke as broke. And we went through all your crazy, let's move here, let's move there. We've been through all of this with you. And she's not been through that with you. So that's great. You just take your little diesel jeans model and just go live happily ever after.
Do you know he's frustrated with the whole way that our spiritual divorce through the church went down?
Really?
He's so mad about that he didn't get a say and he didn't get.
What would
you
he
know?
have said?
I invited him. I talked to him about it, and he's like, "Well, let me give it some thought," and nothing. And then he was mad that
He's
he
just
didn't get to talk
mad
about
because
it.
it looks bad for him.
Mary told me about it. I didn't know what to say. I uninvolved myself. If I'd have been there and given them the reasons we broke up, they might not have given her the release. She did her stuff. I didn't abandon her. We got the release on that premise, and that's what we needed. We needed to not be married. If I would have given my testimony what I really believed, it would have taken away her justification for the divorce, but it would have made me stuck with her. So they will not separate a man on the man's merit to be separated from a woman. They just don't do it. The woman has to request it, and the woman gets it based upon the merit of what she gives. My church isn't a cult. It's hard to get into and easy to get out of. But marriage is its own cult. I don't want to disparage marriage, but it is easy to get into and it is hard to get out of.
I do understand that the church leader, when he came back to Cody, he said that it was on the basis of abandonment. I did not choose that word. I did not say that Cody abandoned me during that meeting. And so I can't be held responsible for that word or Cody's reaction to it. He's the one who said he didn't even consider himself married to me. I did tell the church leaders that.
So I wanted to ask you about that because are you associated with them anymore? Like,
No.
Can I just call up and say,
The way that I feel about it, and I know Christine feels different, and everybody feels
but I'm not
Cody
where
feels
Christine
different.
is, and I'm still sort of like, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Like, I never really thought about a spiritual divorce. It didn't even occur to me because we're really not part of that church anymore. And then when Mary got one, I'm like, huh.
I wasn't interested. I didn't feel the need to get a spiritual divorce. I was at a different spot spiritually. I believe in God, and he was great with me leaving. So a conversation with him was good enough for me.
So when I did the legal divorce, I knew that the spiritual part of it was still valid because if it wasn't, what was yours? What was Robin's? What was Christine's?
Yeah, I still think it's valid.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to offend God.
If you want, we can talk more about it.
Okay.
I would go with you if you wanted me to.
maybe that.
I would do that.
Because just to cover all the bases, because
For me, that's what I needed.
I'm not dating, but if I found somebody, I would never want there to be like a weird
Well, because Janelle,
barrier in my head, you know what I mean?
You've been married that way.
I've been married 30 years and it had validity for me. I never worried about a legal marriage.
I mean, I know that Christine's perspective on it is, well, I don't believe in that faith anymore.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was valid. I need to actually terminate it. I need to feel like, no, this is done. This marriage was a marriage of an eternal nature. It was a sealing for beyond the grave. I did not want, and I knew that he did not want, to be stuck in the eternities with me. And I felt like that's what that was. And so I needed to let that go.
I have kept my faith, and I think I've kept a lot of what would be considered probably the LDS or the Mormon doctrines. I'm still in that realm. You know, I don't have to live plural marriage again. I don't know if I'll ever even marry again, but I've kept my faith. All of it's intact except for that whole plural marriage thing. I don't know about that. So just so that I'm sure I'm good, if I were to remarry, maybe it's worth getting a spiritual divorce.
All right.
Anyway, all right. Well,
I will.
thanks for chatting. This is kind of typical of mine and Janelle's relationship. Both of us are very well aware of the fact that we've never been best friends, and we probably never will be. You know, our personalities just are not that way. But we also always put in the effort into our relationship as far as like doing the best for the family that we could.
Sister-wife relationships are really complex, as you can imagine. I think everybody thinks that somehow you're supposed to all be friends, hold hands and skip together down the road. No, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes you're friends and sometimes you're not. You know, Mary and I just have very different personalities. We just never could see the world the same way. Probably from the very first days we were married, it was always that way. But we shared some very common core values, which was we believed in the family and we believed in our faith. So we figured out how to eventually work for the good of the family, work as a team, despite our differences of personality and opinion.